You hear about these seasons. We'll average 50 points and 25 rebounds, and he had 75 consecutive quadruple doubles or whatever. And you're like, I don't believe any of that. He's doing Wilt Chamberlain type stuff now. I know we're 11 games in. I got to calm down.
I got you.
When the NBA's most unstoppable force starts producing numbers so unreal that even the harshest analysts are left speechless, you know something historic is happening. Brian Windhorst, who's watched LeBron's entire journey, witnessed dynasties form and crumble, and built a career out of documenting greatness, went on live television and made a comparison so bold it stunned the studio. He said Nikola Jokić is reminding him of a player whose records felt so outrageous, so out of this world, that even he once doubted they were real.
It's wild, man. He's shooting 78% on two-pointers. 78.
Yeah, that's a high
Okay?
number.
He's leading the league in rebounds. He's leading the league in assists.
We're talking about Wilt Chamberlain here, a name so legendary that comparing anyone to him is almost forbidden, and yet after Nikola Jokic's latest masterpiece, Brian Windhorst said he had to make the connection. To understand why the Joker has NBA insiders stunned, you have to look at the context. November 12, 2025. The Nuggets roll into Los Angeles for a back-to-back against the Clippers, the kind of matchup the league labels a schedule loss because teams are supposed to be drained. Jokic had just hung 35 points on Sacramento the night before, and any ordinary superstar would have coasted, saved energy, or taken the night off entirely, but Jokic isn't built like a normal superstar. The Clippers came in with a detailed game plan, and coach Ty Lue even admitted afterward that they tried everything, yet nothing mattered.
Our game plan was to, make him score and just take away his passing, take everybody else out of the game. I thought the first half we did a good job with that. We knew Jamal Murray would be more aggressive in the second half. But I didn't think he would score 55.
They tried to bait Jokic into playing selfish basketball, betting that if he turned into a pure scorer, Denver would lose the playmaking that makes him unstoppable. Instead, he delivered one of the most outrageous performances we've seen in modern basketball. Jokic erupted for 55 points, yes, 55, on a mind-bending 18 of a 23 shooting, a blistering 78% from the field. He drilled 5 of 6 threes, knocked down 14 of 16 free throws, grabbed 12 rebounds, and handed out 6 assists. And the wildest part? He did all of this in just 34 minutes, sitting most of the fourth quarter because the game was already out of hand. This wasn't a hot night. It was surgical destruction. It was basketball turned into fine art. Ty Lue stood there afterward looking like a man whose entire defensive blueprint had just been set on fire, admitting, "I didn't think he would score 55. Nobody did, Ty. Nobody did." Then came the moment that sent shockwaves through NBA media. Brian Windhorst, Mr. Measured, Mr. Analytical, Mr. Let's Calm Down, went on ESPN's NBA Today and didn't hold back. After watching Jokic average over 35 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists on nearly 74% shooting over a 6-game stretch, he dropped a line that made every basketball fan freeze. This level of dominance is something he's only ever associated with Wilt Chamberlain.
I wasn't alive for when Chamberlain had these numbers. You hear about these seasons. We'll average 50 points and 25 rebounds, and he had 75 consecutive quadruple doubles or whatever. And you're like, I don't believe any of that. He's doing Wilt Chamberlain type stuff now. I know we're 11 games in. I got to calm down.
I got you.
But
I got you.
Let me say this to y'all, though, seriously, that you point that out. He's also happy, right? He seemed like he's in a happy place.
Brian Windhorst, a man who has built an entire career on skepticism, caution, and refusing to overhype players, just admitted he never truly believed Wilt Chamberlain's mythical stat lines were real until he watched Nikola Jokić in 2025. Let that sink in. Wilt once averaged 50 points for an entire season and famously scored 100 in a single night, numbers that have lived in basketball mythology for more than 60 years. Yet Windhorst is now saying that what Jokic is doing today, in a modern NBA filled with advanced scouting, zone defenses, elite specialists, and analytics built specifically to stop stars, is comparable to those untouchable Wilt figures. And he didn't stop there. Windhorst went even deeper, breaking down just how massive Jokic's impact has become in an era where performances like this simply aren't supposed to exist.
Every 100 possessions he's on the court defensively, the Nuggets are giving up 104 points. That means every 100 possessions he's out there, the Nuggets are outscoring the opposition by 47 points.
That level of dominance isn't just elite, and it isn't just MVP territory. It's production and efficiency that simply don't exist anywhere else in NBA history. Jokic isn't only scoring, he's bending the entire sport around himself, forcing defenses to collapse, rethink, and ultimately fail. But here's where the conversation turns frustrating, and this is where Gilbert Arenas stepped in with some brutally honest commentary that had the entire basketball world buzzing. Agent Zero went off in a rant that captured exactly what Nuggets fans have been shouting into the void for years. Looking straight at the way national media covers the league, he said,
"Has it not shown that you got 2 MVPs, candidates, doing what they do every year? No one cares, all right? Austin Reeves scores 25. That's better than Jokic's triple-double."
Let that sink in. Austin Reeves, a good, dependable player, no doubt, puts up 25 points and suddenly it's breaking news across every platform. Meanwhile, Nikola Jokić, a 3-time MVP and the most dominant force in the league, casually delivers another 30-point triple-double and the story gets shoved to page 3 like it's routine housekeeping. And Arenas wasn't done. He kept going, calling out how the NBA world treats Jokic's brilliance like background noise, acting as if historic dominance is supposed to look ordinary just because he makes it look effortless.
Austin Reeves has been in the news more than both of them combined.
Yeah, I mean, team he plays.
Because of the market. Like, we all talk about winning is amazing, we want to talk about it, but it's never news because the market is so small.
He was talking about Jokic putting up nearly 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists on 68% shooting this season, numbers that have never been sustained by anyone in NBA history with that level of efficiency. And yet, half the country can't even name a single Nugget besides Jokic. Arenas spelled it out plainly. If Jokic played for the Lakers, Knicks, or any major market team, he'd already be a global superstar. Instead, he's in Denver quietly dropping stat lines that force analysts to compare him to Wilt Chamberlain, while most casual fans have no idea what they are witnessing. The wildest part? Jokic couldn't care less. After scoring 55, reporters asked what it meant to him. His answer, "I missed like 2 or 3 layups." No flexing, no chest beating, just a perfectionist annoyed he didn't shoot 100%. And to put this in perspective, that 55-point explosion wasn't just dominant, it was the most efficient 50-point game in NBA history, posting a 91.5% true shooting percentage. That isn't just greatness. That's something that shouldn't even be possible. He just became the first player in league history to average a 35-point triple-double on 60% shooting over 6 straight games, something even legends like LeBron, Jordan, and Magic never touched. The Denver Post captured the moment by describing how his teammates sat on the bench shaking their heads in disbelief as he controlled the entire game, and two-way guard Spencer Jones even joked that a bench cam would show them amazed from start to finish. That's what witnessing greatness up close looks like. But what truly sets Nikola Jokić apart is how he dominates without any elite athletic tools. This is the same player who once ranked near the very bottom in vertical leap testing among more than 1,000 athletes, yet somehow led the league in defensive plus-minus 3 years in a row. John Wall, a 5-time All-Star, perfectly captured the frustration of facing Nikola Jokić. The man drops 55 points on 78% shooting, and somehow it looks effortless, like he's floating. That's not luck, that's pure genius, a basketball IQ that completely transcends physical ability. Jokic has redefined what a dominant big man can be. Gone are the days of Shaq bulldozing defenses, Kareem's skyhook, Hakeem's dream shake, or Tim Duncan's flawless fundamentals. Jokic? He's the greatest passing big man the NBA has ever seen, far ahead of anyone else. Already second all-time in assists among centers, he's on track to surpass legends like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Karl Malone, both of whom played 700+ more games than he has. And it's not just quantity, it's creativity. His teammates know they must stay alert every second, because Jokic delivers passes from angles nobody else even imagines. Nikola Jokic's vision is so unreal that he's even hit unprepared teammates in the face during practice because they didn't see the pass coming. Comparisons to European legends like Vlade Divac or Chris Webber make sense. They showed that big men could run an offense, but Jokic has taken that idea and reinvented it entirely. He's not just a passing big man, he's the heartbeat of his team's offense, all while standing 7 feet tall. On defense, despite moving like he's in slow motion, he's a master strategist, leading the league in defensive plus-minus for 3 straight seasons. He doesn't need to jump high or run fast, he's always perfectly positioned, always reading the play right, and forcing opponents into mistakes. And now, after his 55-point explosion, Brian Windhorst dropped what felt like a clear warning to every team in the Western Conference. The rest of the league better pay attention, because Jokic is rewriting the rules. I'm not taking anything away from Oklahoma City, but Denver has a player operating at the absolute peak of his powers, Nikola Jokic. Nothing about his brilliance can be questioned. ESPN's most plugged-in insider even warned the defending champion Thunder, who just knocked Denver out in last year's playoffs, that they could be in trouble. This isn't the same Jokic who fell in the second round. The Nuggets made key moves in the offseason, adding Jonas Valanciunas as a solid backup center, Tim Hardaway Jr. shooting nearly 46% from 3, Cam Johnson to stretch the floor, and Russell Westbrook bringing energy off the bench. But most importantly, Jokic looks happier. Kendrick Perkins noticed it immediately. Gone is the frustration from last season. Now he's surrounded by teammates who fit, and it shows in his play. Now we're witnessing a more energized, sharper Jokic, and that's downright terrifying. Think about it, the 3-time MVP, already the best player on the planet, has somehow elevated his game even further. The Nuggets sit at 9-2, second in the West, and they haven't even hit full stride yet. The big question this season was clear: can Denver finally capture another championship? After consecutive second-round exits, doubts swirled about whether the roster around Jokic was strong enough. Brian Windhorst had even said earlier that the team was 2 players short of true contender status, noting that Jokic himself wouldn't push for changes. That's just not his style, but the front office had to step up. And step up they did. The early results are sending shockwaves through the league. Denver boasts the second-best offense and defense in the NBA, and with Jokic on the floor, they're scoring a staggering 151 points per 100 possessions, numbers straight out of a video game. Even more alarming for opponents, Jokic has shown he can shoulder an even heavier load when needed. That 55-point explosion wasn't a fluke, it was a statement. When Ty Lue tried to shut down his passing, Jokic simply replied, "Fine, I'll score 55 instead." That kind of versatility makes him nearly impossible to stop. You can't game plan against a player who can dominate in 3 different ways: scoring, passing, or rebounding. Pick your poison, and Jokic will punish you through whichever option you leave exposed. After the Clippers game, new Nuggets coach David Adelman summed it up: "That's one of those performances you won't forget." And he's absolutely right. This is the kind of season that will be remembered for decades as peak basketball. So why did Nikola Jokic leave Brian Windhorst speechless? Because what we're seeing doesn't make sense in the normal rules of the game.